the case was brought by the petitioners who called their 3 witnesses to testify. And the case is whether or not the election was conducted in accordance with the Town Council regulations and the Town Council Act. The witnesses we called, we believe, gave evidence to show very clearly that there was non-compliance with the law. A number of these incidents of non-compliance was actually confirmed by the returning officer, Ms. Cumberbatch, and by the Chief Elections Officer, and then again their witness, Mrs. Flowers. So what is left now is for us to give submissions to the Chief Justice, and what we will attempt to do in our submissions is to persuade the Chief Justice that the irregularities which we have identified, the irregularities which they have admitted. You heard Mrs. Cumberbatch telling you that she had to correct a lot of the papers. We had the amazing confession from the Elections and Boundaries Commission that after the elections, they in fact had the ballots and they opened the envelopes and counted the ballots. That is not in compliance with the law. But the point is that all of these irregularities we say are sufficient to ask the Chief Justice to say that the elections must be reheld.
Sir, so do you dispute any assertion from any party that this particular petition is frivolous and vexatious?
Anyone who says that, I believe, is being politically partisan and not legal. And we are now in court and not in the political arena.
So can you talk to us about box CA and the 275 unaccounted?
Well, ballot box CA is one of the most important pieces of evidence. What happened there is that there were 675 electors, voters, and 675 there was 675 ballots that were made available. More, I think there were 800 odd voters in that CA. At the end of the balloting, they only put on the form 400. The question was, where is the additional 275 ballots? What they did, and this is the point we were making to the Chief Justice, what the Elections and Boundaries Commission and Ms. Cumberbatch in particular did was they realized this mistake and simply put on the form, strike out the numbers and add 275, change around the numbers and say, that is accurate. And I pointed out to Ms. Cumberbatch, you can only certify that if you went yourself and checked the actual ballots and said, yes, 275 were actually accounted for, and then put it on the form. She did not do that, and therefore her certificate of correcting it in our submissions cannot be relied on. That is just a mathematical correction to try to reconcile what they had on paper. This case is not about mathematics, it's about the politics and the votes, and the question is what were in those ballot envelopes with the ballots, and she didn't count them, so she can't testify to their accuracy.
Sir, when it comes to the Chief Elections Officer handling of the ballots and taking it to her office, is that proper? Is that correct?
I think the regulations are very clear. Once those ballots have been counted, the presiding officer should seal the envelopes, hand them to the returning officer in sealed envelopes, and the law is very clear that they should not be opened until and if they are brought to court by an order of the court. And we have the Chief Elections Officer of her own mouth saying that she opened them and she counted them. We have now no confidence as to where those ballots are, the status of them, whether they are all accounted for, and that is an issue which we will be addressing the Chief Justice on.
Should they be at her office as she admitted under cross-examination that they are?
They should be in a secure place, wherever she finds to be a secure place. The issue is that they're not to be opened. She opened them and counted them and did other things with them, and that is absolutely prohibited by the regulations, and so we will be making submissions to the Chief Justice on that.